confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh, say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over.
Well, I haven't sang that in a minute. Hey, guys, I know I look a little different. I'm doing the natural thing. I don't know if it's working. I'll let you guys know. Welcome back to Impact the World Radio Show. I am your host, Cheryl Wood, and you guys haven't seen us live in a couple weeks, but that's just because God has been moving, and I'm moving and shaking. As he moves, I'm like, tell me where to go. I'm going there. So I just want to welcome everyone who's viewing us through voxwave.com, as well as everybody who's here with me on Facebook Live. Yay! And then Haki, all fancy over there. Are you on Facebook Live?
I'm on YouTube Live. And
he's on YouTube Live, and I'm on Facebook Live. So we just working it out. We're just doing a whole lot of greatness here. I want to welcome Tisha. How are you, sis? Linda Husser, thank you for being here. Ida, Trina, Norma, Jarrett, Judith, Hester, thank you guys for being here. Please share this out with your network. I have some phenomenal guests in the building, and I'm probably going to talk faster than normal because the air is not working in this joint. And you know me, black people, but this black woman with heat don't really blend too well. I'm trying to hold on to my little afro here. I just got a whole lot going on, Haki. Thank you. All right. So before I introduce my first guest, let me just share a little bit of what's been happening, what's been going on. I was sharing with Haki, and we have another guest in the studio, Allison Daniels, and I was telling them, my assistant and I were like, look, we got to get a schedule. We got to create a list. We got to create a list because we have so many things going on. And I think that's what happens when you are intentional about using your gift to impact the world and touch other people's lives. You're always reinventing yourself. You're always coming up with new ideas of how you can touch other people, leave your unique fingerprint. And that is truly what I've been working on. I put a post on social media yesterday saying, is your hustle taking a nap? Right? Some of us, our hustle is taking a nap. And we are not grinding at the level to which we say we want success. And what I know is it never happens overnight. It never happens for free. You have to be a hunter. You have to go out and get what you want. You're not going to eat.
Go out and get it and kill it.
Kill it, that's right. You got it. And you have to do that consistently. It can't be a one and done. I ate one meal, I'm full, it's good. That's it. No, it has to be now we continue this over and over and over again, especially for those of you who are my entrepreneurs. Yes, Allison says she's here in the studio. Amanda Bryant, hey, how are you? Joyce Jolly says hello. Afternoon here in the D.C. area. Thanks for being here, Joyce. I appreciate it. So I've been moving and shaking. One of the things I'm working on is a series of events called A Woman's Narrative, which is an opportunity where I'm creating a platform for women to share their story, their truth, their unique life message. Because your story, you guys know I say it all the time, your story is about you, but it ain't for you. It's for someone else. And so at each stop where I take this series, A Woman's Narrative, I will have 15 women who will share their story from stage. And it's following kind of the TEDx talk style. And so our first event is set for October 20th at an amazing venue, the Gilden Horn Recital Hall on the campus of the University of Maryland, October 20th. Here's the thing, you guys, you can't buy tickets to these events. So you have to be invited. And typically that means you got to know me or you have to know one of the speakers, and the speakers get an invitation to extend to a certain group of people. And then we're taking it to Paris. So we are confirmed. We'll be in Paris on Friday, May 10th. Paris. My daughter, as you guys know, goes to, or has for the past, her 8 years of schooling, goes to a French immersion school. So she speaks fluent French. So she cannot wait. I can't wait to have her order me some stuff in French. Like, girls, just say, all I know is bonjour and oui, oui. That's it. Everything else, I'm like, ask her. So I told her to tell me, she has to tell me in French, how do I say ask her? Because that's what I'm going to be saying the whole time, ask her, ask her. But we're super excited. My family and I are all going to be going. We're going to be there for the whole week. But the actual event, A Woman's Narrative Paris, is taking place May 10th. Also, stay tuned, because I'm going to be bringing A Woman's Narrative Atlanta. And that's going to be in March. So I'm going to be looking for 15 powerful women speakers to join me in Atlanta. If you know that you're interested in that. Hey, Charles Carey, nice to see you. Hi, Trina Brown. Hey, Jan, how are you? If you know that you're interested in Atlanta, speaking there, then you want to send me an email at assistant. Yes. Look, you know Atlanta is like Wakanda now. Wakanda forever. That's the place to be. It's the place to go. Everything is happening there. So if you're interested, if you know in advance you're interested in that, just send us an email at assistant@CherylWoodEmpowers.com. But we'll be putting a post up in the next few days about that. We'll have an information call for anybody who wants to get involved. And then, of course, we both just came from the amazing, the phenomenal Power Networking Conference. Woo! I need a clapper thing. And for me, it was a dream realized, because I have been waiting 7 years to speak at this conference from the main stage. Finally, dream fulfilled, dream realized. Dues paid. You know what I'm talking about. Dues paid. You know, you stand in that space and you're like, God, I belong here. I've done the work. I've planted the seeds. I've sown. So thank you for manifesting this. So it was surreal for me to be able to have that opportunity to finally be gracing, not just to be gracing the stage at the Power Networking Conference, but I think the bigger piece of it was knowing that I've done the work to belong on the stage. You know, like a lot of times we can fake certain things. Like, I call it fake book instead of Facebook, because everybody a superstar, everybody doing all of this greatness. Lies. Some of it's lies. But when you get on that stage, when you are extended the invitation to speak at the Power Network Conference, you know they have vetted you. You know that you are doing certain numbers in revenue in your business, and you're only on that stage if you are truly manifesting. Not faking it, but manifesting. So for me, it was surreal in that way. All right, so enough about me. Moving on to my first guest, Haki Ami. We have known each other since, when did we first connect?
Probably 6, 7. It had been like 7, 8 years ago.
I'm like, when did we? You know how you forget? Like you feel like you become brother sister with somebody, but you forget how you connected.
It's definitely been about 7, 8 years.
It's been a minute, because you've been around like my whole journey almost. Since I started in 2009 doing the T-shirts. I don't know if you knew me when I did the T-shirts.
I did not.
So probably you kind of. So I started speaking like 2011. So maybe since 2011, sometime around there. But anyway, Haki Ami is an investor. He's an author. He's a massive networker. He has a new book, Mission Unstoppable: Extraordinary Stories of Failures, Blessings, which I want you to explain that.
Sure.
And it features Dr. George C. Frazier, Les Brown. Come on now, you rubbing shoulders with the greats.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
That's right.
A little bit.
Y'all showing up, right?
Yes,
that's
and he does all types of investing seminars, classes, workshops, and events. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, it's good to be here on your show. First time here, so.
See how we welcome you in with no heat? No air, I mean. Come on in. It's hot up in here. Come on.
Well, I'm an original African, so we adapt. You feel me? So we can adapt to any condition. We will survive.
I love it. We will survive. Absolutely.
Yes.
So tell us all about who you are, where you got started, how you got started. Are you in Baltimore?
Yes. Yes, I'm actually born and raised in Baltimore. Haki Ami, the success scholar.
Yes.
Here, so, born and raised in Baltimore. I spent, most of my life there. Didn't necessarily leave a whole lot, just coming up and experienced, some of the dramas and traumas that we individuals grow up in Baltimore experienced, though fortunately I was able to slide through there. I always tell the story that, I was one, I would do just enough to get by, I was a C student, and what laws can I not break, or how not I get caught,
right.
but I always had a vision for myself that, I didn't want to end up a certain way, so I was blessed, and astute enough to leave Baltimore. I went directly into the United States Navy.
I didn't know that. Navy guy. My husband is ex-Navy.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And so I did like 5.5 years active duty. I wasn't far. I was in Norfolk, Virginia, but we kind of traveled a few places all over the world, and that expanded, my horizon about the world a little bit, and seeing different people and how different people actually live inspired me to really think about the world and to think about my place in the world.
I think that's so pivotal that you said that, that being able to have those experiences, traveling, allow you to see other things.
Right.
Talk about the importance of, especially us, our people, seeing a model of what's possible. Because that's one of the things I love about your work, is that you are modeling the fact that it doesn't matter where you grew up, where you came from, what your background or your past. What matters is what you do with what you have. And then reaching back and being a model for other people to see that it's possible because they see it in you.
Well, absolutely. And sometimes, just kind of coming up in Baltimore and leaving, I always think about what could have happened, like if I did not become aware, or if I did not physically separate myself, things could have certainly turned out different. As I go back and I see people that actually they started in life and had all the silver spoons, and they just became products of their environment.
Yeah.
And so I see the difference with myself leaving, but I also realize that, that there's a mental, a mindset that needs to happen regardless of your environment. So I believe that can be more impactful and powerful as well, just gaining knowledge to understand and create your path and your identity for yourself.
Yeah, so you say mindset. So talk about how you shifted your mindset from one of, okay, I could become involved in the things that I see that are happening, right? We know. I grew up in the inner city of Baltimore, Maryland. So we know what goes on. I talk about it very openly and freely. Every day that I came out of my house, what I saw was people who were strung out on drugs, people who were selling drugs on the corner, every corner. I saw teenage pregnancy. I saw people who had lack of resources to better themselves. Even my own mother worked every single day. Literally, my mother was one of the hardest working women I've ever known. And went to work every day, but still just did not make enough money for us to even really be above the poverty line. So how do you, in that environment, I feel like, especially for black males, who are, the male is taught that you're supposed to provide for your family, take care of your family. How is it that what mindset do you generate or create to stay out of the trouble that could potentially propel you financially, but set you back in your life?
Well, for me, again, just experiencing what I experienced, I used to question myself. I used to say, well, why was I being average? When you see different people with different levels of success, but for me, it was just like, why did I think that? Why was I content in life? And so I always share the story of when I went into the military. I really truly grew up, and not just from just having a good government job, but intellectually. And I actually went through a reading regimen that I always share, and I talk about it in my book. And let me just show everybody.
Yeah, show that book.
Yeah,
look at him. Come on now. First of all,
at home,
if your face is ever on a book with these two greats, you talking about George C. Fraser, Dr. George Fraser, and Les Brown. Let me tell you, there is nowhere I would go without my book. And I would walk down the street like this. I would just be walking down the street literally with my book.
Thank you for that coaching. I mean, no, but
I would be in the grocery store picking my fruit with my book in my hand. I would be at the restaurant.
Right.
My book would be right here on the table for everybody to see.
Yes.
Like, come on now. That is massive, right?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, no, and yeah, certainly I appreciate that. That's some good coaching right there.
I'm just saying, like, that's powerful.
You gotta step things up with the people that you network with. But I share in this how I read 100 books a year for 11 years.
Wow. Hold on, stop the presses.
Yeah, we can
you read 100 books a year for 11 years.
Correct.
Come on now.
Yes.
And you guys say that you are a student.
Right.
Are you really a student? Are you really a student of your craft? Especially all of my business owners who are tuned in and watch the show every week. When we say that we're immersing ourselves, that's immersion. My daughter goes to a French immersion school. Immerse, they mean they immerse her into the French language, which means they don't speak English to her at the school. They only speak French. From the moment she stepped in the door in kindergarten, they only would speak French.
Wow.
The kids had to immerse themselves so that they could learn, how do I ask to go to the restroom? How do I ask for something to eat? How do I say I need my homework assignment? They immerse them. So you are immersing yourself in studies that will make you shift your mindset and make you a better person. So I'm asking all of you who are watching us, thank you so much for those of you who are here. I see Amy Taylor shouting you out, Terrell Ebony. I see Kathy Muhammad, thank you for being here. Regina Creighton, thanks for being here. Trina Brown, Ruth Lawson, we appreciate you guys being with us. Like, if you really say that you want to master something, are you really willing to immerse yourself in it and to be a student of your craft?
Yes.
100 books a year for 11 years. Okay, continue.
Right. Well, and, generally that was because of, just hunger and anger as well. It was, sometimes when you know that you haven't achieved a certain level, I almost dropped out of school, so it's just like, when I think about just what could have happened with the environment, and I look back at my peers, it just set me on fire. It just set me on a fire to say, never again, in a sense, will I, the ignorance of not knowing what's going on historically or even with myself or the environment, it's not going to be an excuse for just being or maintaining this average ideas about who I am and who I can become. So I'll just say that, led the foundation to many other positions and opportunities that I attempted to surround myself with.
I love it. I love it. I'm inspired because I'm telling them, but I'm talking to me too. You know how you say something, but you be like, girl, let me take this note right here, right? And I love that. It really shows, as you said, 2 words: hunger and anger. You have both. A hunger for bettering yourself, bettering your life, bettering where you are, and an anger perhaps about why you're not somewhere different in your life. Because a lot of times, and I speak for not the entire African-American community, but there are a lot of communities, especially the one I grew up in, where, that environment is one of, it's kind of almost sometimes you can get to a woe is me space. Man, this is all I'm going to be. And then you have children, and they grow up in that environment. They think that's all they're going to be. But you have to get angry about the fact that there are people who are living a completely different lifestyle, who have massive success, massive wealth, but you're below the poverty line.
Right.
And you do have to get angry about it.
Frazier always says that.
Yeah, who does?
Dr. Frazier.
Yeah, you have to, right?
Exactly.
You got to be like, look, what's not going to happen is, right, I'm not going to be one of them.
Right.
And that's my commitment even for myself, and that's what pushes me and drives me in my business. It's like, no, I don't want to be the person who is, they say a starving artist. I don't want to be a starving entrepreneur. No, I want to be able to eat.
Yes.
Maybe I shouldn't be one to eat. But anyway, I want to eat, right? On this whole weight loss now. Good Lord, weight release. I want to eat. But you know what I mean. Realistically, I want prosperity for myself, for my kids. I want my kids to be able to experience things I didn't experience. My son was saying to me the other day, because I was saying, we got to do some stuff for the summer. We really haven't done a whole lot. And here comes my son reminding me. He's like, Mommy, do you understand how much you've done for us? My child.
Wow,
He says,
beautiful.
we've been to Africa.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. He said,
powerful.
we've been to India.
Wow.
He started naming the places. Then he started naming places in the United States. He said, you took us to Los Angeles. You took us to Atlanta, Georgia. You took us to Florida. And I was like, wow. That's what I said.
Amazing.
I was just like, wow, that you value that versus us going around.
Because they're talking to their peers.
Yes.
Right. And they're like, you went where?
Right. And now we're planning our trip to Paris.
Right.
My goal is to take one international trip every year with my family.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And I certainly love to connect it with business, but for sure, one international trip because I want my kids to be exposed to the things that I didn't get to be exposed to. Not at any fault of my mom. Our parents do the best they can with what they have and what they know. But when you know better, you do better. And if you have an opportunity to shift the trajectory of your life and your children's life, then you want to do that.
Right.
So tell us, what's the core message in the book, and how did that happen?
Certainly. I've known Dr. Frazier's work for quite some time, and of course, you know, I knew about Les Brown, and, but it's about 6 years ago, I would think. Well, yeah, 6 years ago, connecting to Shay and Trevor in this area.
Shout out to Trevor and Shay.
Yeah, we had what's called the Marathon of Excellence. I know Sir Charles was, you know, Sir Charles Carey was a part of that, and several others. And you know what's interesting about that, Cheryl? I was thinking, and they brought Dr. Frazier and Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, and I told Dr. Frazier, I've been wanting to come to the Power Networking Conference for some years. He was like, don't want, or something to that effect. Don't keep wanting to come. And it just clicked in my mind, like, yes, I really need to not just keep wanting to do something.
Absolutely.
But what's also interesting is how I still was, although I've traveled in the Navy, I still was thinking, like, well, if none of the Marathon of Excellence people go, I may not go. You know, it's really interesting how the mind works when you know, are conditioned. You know, I mean, I was 30-something years old, and I was still conditioned. Like, I'm going to Dallas for, you know, but that's how sometimes we get conditioned. But I said, you know what? I wanted more. I knew I needed to expand my network, and I've known about the conference for some years, and so I said, look, I'm going. And Dr. Frazier was promoting for this opportunity to be a part of this book with several other amazing authors as well. And, you know, for many people may not know, but I've been marketing other authors up and down the East Coast. I call myself the Master P of books. So Master P, he marketed CDs and things out of his car, but that was my idea. I was like, reading all of these books, I knew that other people need to read these books as well. So some of the core books, I said, you know, I'm going to get them out to people's hands. So I said, going to this conference, and I'll shout out to Tony in Houston. Oh my God, Tony.
Tony. A guy or a woman?
Female. Oh my God.
Oh, Tony Harris.
Yes. Oh, she gonna whip me. But
shout out Tony Harris.
Yeah. So
we love you.
I was in one of her workshops, and she was talking. You know, so I took a lot from different workshops, and she was talking about taking a drastic step, right?
Right.
And I was like, well, what drastic step am I going to take here? You know, and they put this opportunity out there. I was like, man, I was looking at the cost. I was like, I don't know.
Come on now, because that's what I was getting ready to ask you. Tell the truth.
Right.
Because that's how it can feel when you when it's time for you to go to the next level.
Right.
Right. And it can be really scary. Not just it can be the time commitment, it can be the idea that you're taking a risk, but also the financial commitment.
Agreed. But you know, and I said, you know what? I'm tired of being average, you know, on this level. And it's just like, look, I need to, you know, you go to a conference, I'm like, I need to do something with the top person there. You know, and that's the Think and Grow Rich principle, where you go into any organization, you want to meet, even if you work a job, but you want to meet the top person in that organization and have a conversation with them. Absolutely. So I said, I'm going to do something, some type of business with the top person there. That. So I said, you know, I'm patient, I'm humble, I'm gonna learn the ropes, because it was like a coaching type of training opportunity as well with both of these. And I'm like, you can't go wrong. I'm like, what value? People, you know, I talk to different people. How much you gonna pay? You know, just I'm like, look, you can't put a value on what these particular individuals offer.
Yes.
You know?
And that,
so,
look, what you're saying is so pivotal.
Yes.
Because you can't talk to small-minded people about a big vision. Because they just don't get it. They're never going to understand why you would invest at that level. You guys know it's no secret, my investment with Lisa Nichols, $40,000.
Oh,
did y'all know? Y'all don't know? Y'all haven't heard me talk about it?
I didn't know the
$40,000. It ain't no secret because that was on her website for years. That's how much it costs.
Wow.
You know what I got for 40 grand? One day with her.
Wow.
7 hours in a room. I invested $40,000. My husband thought I was cray-cray. A lot of people were like, but you're Cheryl Wood. Look, the reality is you got to ask yourself, how do I get to my next level? And it's never going to be free. Nobody's giving it to you for free. And if you don't believe in yourself enough to invest at a level that's scary, then don't you ever expect me to do it. Don't expect me to believe in you, but you don't believe in you enough to put your money where your mouth is. And to play the game bigger. And look, the reality is there was a lot that I learned in that it was a big $40,000 lesson. I took some things away. I learned some things. But nobody can ever take that away from me.
That's right.
That's something I will have forever. It's not like a dress, a car, a pair of shoes, and it's out of style next month, next week, next year. It's that knowledge is with me forever, indefinitely. And now I have a relationship with Lisa Nichols. I'll be speaking with her on the same platform in a couple months when I go back to Biloxi, Mississippi. It's relationships. I mean, it matters, but you can't share your big ideas and your big investments with small-minded people who never get it and who are comfortable being average. Like they good. I'm good right here. I'm not going to rock the boat because I'm good. I'm good at my whatever it is they're doing. And they don't want more. They don't have a bigger vision. For me, my vision is always expanding. How do I grow to my next? I was on a call yesterday with a coaching client, and one of the things I shared with her, I said, this is what you have to ask yourself, because I've noticed this, and I got to put this out there. There are a lot of new and upcoming speakers, right? We both are in the speaker industry. And a lot of them are getting an ego real quick. How you going to get an ego and you've been doing this for like 37 seconds, right? But you got an ego because you got booked for a couple speaking engagements. Okay, here's my question. Have you touched a billion lives?
Wow.
I haven't, and I've been in the game for 8 years. Have you touched 1 million lives yet? I haven't, and I've been in the game for 8 years already. Have you touched 500,000 lives? So if you haven't touched 500,000 lives, 1 million lives, 1 billion lives, stop acting like you have arrived. Because you haven't. And these people and these speakers who are saying they want to be on the level of a Lisa Nichols, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, then you got to impact millions of lives, not 100 people in your backyard. You got to be global and international. So get out of your own ego, get out of your own head about what you have done and who you are. Like you gotta scrap that. Your ego has to. Your message always has to be bigger than your ego. Your message always has to be bigger than your ego if you're really going to go far and really create legacy, right? Like when we were at Power Networking Conference, we were talking about really creating legacy and really creating wealth. And some people have no idea what legacy and wealth really means because we hear the word thrown around so much. When you talk about wealth, Terrence Cash, you talking about a brother that he retired when he was his like 30s or early 40s or something?
I'm familiar.
And has billions, billions in the bank. That's wealth. This brother can go away with a B. He can go away for a month or 2 months, and his money, his cash register still ringing. Ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Do you have that? Then you haven't amassed wealth. Stop playing. You still have work to do.
Amen.
So, you know, for all of us, we just have to remember, don't allow your hustle to take a nap because you feel like, oh, you've done some things. Allow God to work through you. You need to be touching millions and billions of lives, which means every day you got to be walking around with your book in your hand like this. You walking down the street, you walking to your car, your book need to always be in your hand. You at the restaurant, it need to be on the table. Like you need to be sharing your message with the world. Global impact, you guys. Global impact. So tell us what else you have, juicy stuff you have going on before we start wrapping up.
Well, certainly. I would say one of the biggest things that, well, I mean, I'll just mention this, that outside of the book, some of us came together. Les Brown's in there, Dr. Frazier, and I have a small part in there.
You better do it. Jewel Tankard, Dr. Venus, all right now.
So I have a small part in there, so that's Black Friday Part 2. But, just working with many of these speakers, and I've had the time to actually sit and evaluate their life, Dr. Frazier and Les Brown. And I remember the first time I think the first time I saw Les Brown was in Virginia.
When I stood up and told him about my event?
Yes.
That was my first time seeing him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd never seen him before in person. That was my very first time seeing Les Brown.
That's interesting. And, you know, I got a story. I'll say that was the first time that I met Willie Jolly. And you know what? And I think I knew you. And I sat beside you, and Willie Jolly came and sat next to me. And then he got up and walked on stage. I was like, who's that? I don't know if you remember, but I was like, who's that? He's like, that's Dr. Willie Jolly. That's
Dr. Willie Jolly, one of my mentors. Yeah.
So I did something, you know, one of his programs as well, Dr. Willie Jolly. I believe that, you know, we have to mix up, you know, and appreciate those who have come before us and, you know, have respect for those who've paid a price.
Yeah.
And investing on a level that you want to receive. So with that, you know, I've continued to do various work in the Baltimore area, and I just got elected to a local office in Baltimore.
You better go with your little thing or that.
Right. So,
you better go.
So Democratic Central Committee. I mean,
congratulations.
And, you know, I'm still community, you know, oriented. I want to do certain things within the community. You know, I have ambitions, you know, to speak a little bit more to various, and actually Les Brown was in town a few months ago. I didn't speak on the same stage, but I did a breakout work session.
But you, come on, you in a book with him, so.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, right. And that's the other thing. It's kind of like, all right, well, what do you do now? So, it's, you know, I'm patient, but, you know, I stay striving and learning and, you know, just preparing myself, you know, and that's why, you know, I'm reading this book now. Let me just give a plug for this book. I mean, I don't know the author, but The Hidden DNA of Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. I'm just like expanding. I mean, this book has expanded my global vision.
I love it.
About, you know, the world, actually. I mean, and these companies are transforming the world, and I think we have to think, like, how are we going to get a part of these companies? So I'm like, I mean, I know people want to talk and speak, but I'm like, how are we going to expand our minds to capture and connect and partner with these companies?
Yeah.
So that's what I just encourage everybody to do. Just think big and believe big and execute. Continue to read and study. Readers are leaders, and reading should be like eating and sleeping. So that's
Linda Clemens always says that. She says,
oh, really?
Leaders are readers.
Yes.
And she specifically says that when she's sending you an email. Like, don't ask me no question that I had already answered in the email, basically.
Yes.
Leaders are readers. Leaders are readers, right? Well, I love it. I'm proud of everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep being a positive force in the community. You know, be more in the house, right? Some good stuff come out of Baltimore, y'all.
Absolutely.
Some good stuff come out of Baltimore.
Reginald F. Lewis, look him up if y'all didn't know.
Yes. And they have the Reginald Lewis Museum. Yeah.
You gotta speak there, Cheryl. We got to drop it at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. One of these days.
For sure.
For hometown.
But that's the one that's right on the water. On the waterfront, right at the harbor.
Right,
I think I've been there. I used to do some stuff with Donnie Glover. You remember Donnie Glover? Be More News. We used to do some things there. And Marsha Jews.
Yeah. She just interviewed me.
So we actually did a few things down at the Reginald Lewis Museum. So, been there. Moving on to the next thing, right?
Paris,
but down in Paris, that's right. Paris, oui. That's all I know. Bonjour, oui. But thank you so much for being here. How do people connect with you and continue to get a copy of your book?
Certainly, please. My website, successscholarhaki.com, successscholarhaki.com. As well, I'll just say follow me on Instagram, Success Scholar on Instagram, and my Twitter. Yes, I still use both of those.
Yeah, absolutely. I do too. I tweet.
Yeah, I know, right? Yes, you do. Success Scholar #1, because I'm the first and only Success Scholar. Right. So definitely check me out there. I post different books and things like that.
I love it.
And I think that, you know, we need to read and continue to grow. So
this is the brother who, you heard it from him, that, you know, leaders are readers. He has read 100 books a year for 11 years straight. Look, kudos to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to become more of a student myself and start reading more. You're going to inspire me to read more. And the two things I take away that he said that you got to have, well, three things. Number one, you got to shift your mindset If you don't want to just be average, you want to be amazing, you want to live an amazing life, you got to shift your mindset. And number 2, you got to have hunger and you got to have anger. I will never forget that. Those 2 things are so powerful. Thank you so much for speaking into our lives. We have all these great responses and feedback here on Facebook Live from Kathy Muhammad. Just congrats on your election to office.
Thank you.
Kiana Brown says, I can't wait this weekend. I'll get to hear Willie Jolly and George Frazier. Awesome at the Nevada launch.
Right.
Yeah, because
yes.
Oh my God,
London,
Lance. Yeah, Lance London, who was at the Power, who actually was honored at the Power Network conference.
I saw that.
So he'll be there.
I think I'll be there. I think I'm gonna come.
Of course you will.
Yeah,
of course, because you're international.
Right.
Jonathan Haynes, thanks for being
What's
here.
up, Jonathan?
Tori, hey, Tori Rogers Ball, thanks for being here. Sinead Robinson, thank you so much, guys. We'll go back and we'll read. Trina Brown says, don't share your big ideas with small-minded people. Yes. Keisha Carroll says, do your thing, brother Haki. All right. Thank you guys for your support. We're gonna take just a quick break, and we're gonna be back with our next guest. So hang tight.
We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear, but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, yeah. Oh, playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear, but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world. And now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear, but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, are a champion. God is my witness. Perfection, living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear, but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Yeah.
All right. So you heard some really, really great, juicy stuff from our first guest, Haki Ami. He is amazing. He is, again, an investor, an author, a networker, a scholar who reads. Look, if you don't step your game up after this, come on now, read 100 books for every year for 11 years. Like, yes. That makes anybody want to step up their game. I know I want to step up my game as a result of that. Before I introduce my next guest, I do want to thank wholeheartedly my platinum partners who have come on board to support this radio show so that this could be possible, so that we could air this in the studio every week and bring this great content and these great guests to you live. And these individuals, if without them, we would not have this show, right? And they have been my partners for the past 7 months, moving into 8 months. And I'm just so grateful and so thankful. So I got to give them a shout out. Cherie M. Good. She is the Recharge Strategist. She hosts an annual Recharge Health, Wellness, and Fitness Expo every year up in the Baltimore, Maryland region in the month of April. I don't have the exact date for next April, but she usually starts marketing it pretty early. So make sure you connect with her on social media. And you can visit her website and sign up for her newsletter at TotalHarmonyEnterprises.com. Also, I have Amina McWhirter, who is the founder of Love by the Handles Incorporated, which look, she has such an amazing heart, and her heart shines through the work that she does in helping primarily women, but both men and women, to go through transitional phases in their lives. Many of the women that she works with are coming out of domestic violence relationships, and they're trying to get their footing, and she helps them to create that transition in their lives. So Love by the Handles is a 501c3 nonprofit community-based organization, again, serving individuals in transition within the D.C. metropolitan region. Their goal is to provide a gift of love and financial support for individuals in their transitional stages of life. So to learn more, go to lovebythehandles.org. And then Robin Rogers, who is also prepping in just a couple months, I think it's less than 60 days now, on September 8th. She's hosting her Whole Woman Symposium. Don't you love that title? Yes. Whole Woman Symposium. Like, not just a part of us, but the whole woman. Your internal, your external, everything about who you are and who you're destined to become. So that's going to be taking place, again, here in the DMV region, September 8th from 10 to 5. You can go and inquire about tickets at thewwb2018.eventbrite.com. The WWB2018.eventbrite.com. Somebody could type that in the feed. That would be fantastic. I really appreciate it. The WWB2018.eventbrite.com. And just to give you a little background about Robin, she's a lifestyle and image expert who helps women develop greater self-confidence and reflect that confidence through both inner and outer image. So I love the work that she does. And then last, certainly, but not least, I want to share a campaign that has been spearheaded and kickstarted by an amazing woman, Ladrine Peterson, who is just, she's such a humble spirit, but she's also vivacious and energetic. And she's what I love most about Ladrine is that she's very inclusive. Sometimes as women, we can be exclusive, right? Oh, this is our exclusive circle. This is our, and she's so the opposite of that, which I absolutely love. So she has an organization called Do It, right? And she helps turn dreamers into doers. Well, as a part of that, she has a nonprofit component of that organization that she recently launched called the I Am the Legacy campaign. So Do It has partnered with the Muse Paint Bar right at the National Harbor. I don't know if you've ever been, but my family and I have been, and we have a good time every time we go, and a few other businesses. And so she's hosting these Painting for a Cause parties. The next two, mark your calendars, are July 19th, which is a Thursday evening at 7 p.m., and then Saturday, August 11th at noon. So when you go to one of these Painting for a Cause parties, Muse, the paint bar, actually donates $15 of your ticket towards the I Am the Legacy campaign, right? Talk about a powerful collaboration. You better do it, girl. You better do it, Latrine. You better show us how to collaborate, girl, right? So what's the campaign all about? Maybe that's what you want to know. Well, so many people say, I want to leave a legacy for my children. This campaign helps us to realize, how do we create legacies for our children now? So it encourages all of us as a community to invest in our children now, put them on track to start building their legacies now. And so she took her thoughts, Ladrine took her thoughts and ideas, put them into action, and as a result, this campaign was birthed. So you're going to follow hashtag I Am the Legacy. You're going to follow that all on social media. And here are the great things that are a part of this campaign. She's hosting a youth business pitch contest. A youth anthology book project. Come on now. And a youth conference symposium. So there are so many ways that you can support, whether it's volunteering, whether it's donating, but we want you to get involved. So how do you get involved? You're going to follow hashtag I Am the Legacy on social media, and you can connect with Ladrine directly on Facebook, as well as Do It Delivers on Instagram, where you can purchase tickets to the paint parties. Come on. We want to see y'all over at those paint parties. And last but not least, I have to give a huge shout out to my girl, Tammy Turner. Everybody's been in here clicking their fingers and rocking, and everybody's like, well, who is that? Is that you singing, Cheryl? No, that is not me singing. That is Tammy Turner, songstress extraordinaire. I'm throwing that in myself. And she actually wrote and produced and performed that song at my Playtime is Over conference, which was hosted in last November. And so we we adopted it for our theme song here because it's so appropriate when you talk about women who are bolder and standing shoulder to shoulder so that we can accomplish more in the world. So everything about it is reflective of what we do here at Impact the World. So that is our official radio show anthem. So thank you, Tammy Turner. Beautiful, honey. Beautiful. Just beautiful. All right, so let's move on. My next guest has been waiting patiently in this studio. Her name is Allison Daniels, and she's so beautiful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
She is an award-winning, y'all listen to this now, award-winning, two-time best-selling author, speaker, certified coach, entrepreneur, author's consultant, and CEO and owner of Allison Daniels Ministries, LLC. She has published over 31 books. Come on now. I mean, you and Hakeem make me feel real. Like, I need to step up my game for real. 31 books, reading 100 books come on now, a year. Not in 11 years, 100 books each year. Like, you got to step up your game, folks. She's the co-author of 8 books, and 4 of her clients have become published authors as well. She's a minister, she's a chaplain. What's NCNW?
National Council of Negro Women.
Awesome. All right, y'all got that? National Council of Negro Women. We have to be sure because there are a lot of acronyms for different companies, and you got to make sure that you referencing the right one, so I always ask. Her passion for writing and business led her to create a workshop or workshops that help other aspiring authors to finally realize their dreams of becoming published authors. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
31 books. Come on now. Okay, so look, I want you to speak on that because there's so many people who say they don't have time to write a book. How in the world did you get 31 books done? Tell us something.
Staying focused, number one. Managing my time.
Yes.
Balancing everyday life because having 2 kids, being married for over 17 years, and a caregiver to my parents. All of that is just balancing. And then working 9 to 5. It's just really focusing, and once I get everything else out the way, then I'm normally in my office writing between the hours of 2 and 3 o'clock.
A.M.?
A.M.
Y'all hear that? What I tell you,
so
success ain't never free.
No.
It's never free. You got to give up something, and sometimes it's sleep that you got to give up a little bit of. And it's not like she's staying up from 2 in the morning to 5. She's for 1 hour. Can you commit to an hour of writing so that you can accomplish the thing that you say you want to do? I love that.
Yes.
Awesome. And so how did you start? So your very first, do you remember your first book?
Yes.
What was the first book? And here's my question. What was the first book? How did you finally get that done? And how did you feel when you got it done? And what's the difference, would you say is the difference between the first book and what you've learned in the process of writing 31 books?
Okay, so the first book is entitled Yearning for Love. That came out in 1995.
Wow.
I actually was with a friend of mine, and he kept saying, well, you know, I can help you get your book together. You can come down into my basement and come to my home. And I was like, yeah, right. You have a wife and 2 children. I'll be darn it, you know.
Right.
And then one day I took him up on his offer. And we put the book together. I did all the typing, laid everything out. He was able to, you know, bind the book, put it together. After that, I just started selling out my car, just going around speaking. And I just never gave up from 1996 till now. But the difference is in my writing is I'm wiser with my words.
Yeah.
I'm more mature in how I say it. Even though that book was a love book, I still have that same love. It's just stronger, but I'm just greater in how I come across and bring my words out.
I love that. Wisdom, right? Because all of us, we grow, we get wiser, we read, we acquire more knowledge through life experiences, through knowledge that we learn. And so we are. So I love that you can look back that long ago and then today and see how you've grown and matured and progressed in the wisdom that you've gained. So let me ask this question. Why 31 books?
Well, let me tell you, I kept saying every year I'm going to write a book. And I stuck to that, and I stayed focused on that. And that made me where the surroundings that I lived in, I wasn't caught up in what was going on. I stayed focused on every year to keep me focused. I stayed focused on the plan that I had for my life. And that was to just continue to write, because that was my gift. And then one day I just believed I would be speaking. So I stayed focused on that. And that's where the 31 books, I really never paid any attention because I just kept writing and putting books out.
Because you were so laser focused.
Yes. And then all of a sudden I met Ladrine, and she was like, 31 books! You have 31 books! You need to meet Cheryl Wood. And I said, well, okay. But it's just, people don't understand that staying focused plays a part in your journey, and it plays a part in you moving to your next level, because sometimes you can be all over the place. And you never finish that one thing that you were called to do. That is your purpose.
Absolutely.
And so
it's not good enough just to start. You got to finish. You got to cross the finish line at some point. And so many people, they start and they stop and they start and they stop and they get distracted, like you said, so they're not laser focused. And you have to identify what are your distractions. You got to know yourself and your environment. What are your distractions? Is it television? Because some of us spending 4 or 5 hours a day watching crap TV. And guess what? Those people on the crap TV have their millions. You still broke, busted, and disgusted, right? Wishing that your life was different. So you have to identify what are your distractions. For some people, it's, again, it's TVs. For some people, it's sleep. You need 12, 13 hours of sleep. Don't nobody need that much sleep. Like, get you a good 6 hours. Get up, get to work, do something. Get up an hour earlier than you normally, or stay up an hour later than you normally would, and commit. And as Allison said, stay laser focused on what the ultimate goal is, so that you can actually cross something off of your list. I always like to call it, going from the ing, divorcing ing and marrying ed. I-N-G and marrying ed mean ing. Oh, I'm planning, I'm thinking, I'm brainstorming, I'm attempting. All these things with the ing, you got to divorce that at some point, and you have to marry ed. I completed something, right? I completed it. I accomplished. You're adding that ed onto the end of something to say, I actually crossed the finish line. I didn't just get started, but I actually finished it. So I love that. Now, are all 31 books the same genre? Are they about the same topic? What is it? Talk to us about the different books.
Well, the first few are actually poetic pieces. They're poems. The next one are short stories. The next set are self-help books. And then the next set are just inspirational books where it'll help you move to your next level if you're stuck somewhere in life. Because we all get stuck. We just don't know how to move past that point. And we all get distracted. We just don't know how to move past that point. And there has to come a time in your life that stuck doesn't exist anymore, because you've trained yourself to move past that. And distractions don't bother you because you already have a set plan. And so there are different things and different writings that I have in each book.
So you also help other new and aspiring authors. Tell us a little bit, without giving it away, because you got to pay for that. right? You got to pay for the workshop if you want to get the real juicy stuff of how to write the book and how to move forward. But, you know, give us a couple little nuggets. You know, it's almost like if you go to Sam's Club or Costco and they give you the little taste test, but they want you to go buy the whole packet. Exactly. So give us your little taste test of what someone would experience if they come to work with you. Do they come to you to write the book, or is it just, oh, they've written they have the manuscript, and now you are the publishing house?
Actually, both.
Okay.
Because the program is called Write to Finish. So when you said finished, they have to start writing and finish it. Just don't get started. Let's finish it. And what you'll learn there is I'll help you with building your content. I'll help you with your outline. I'll help you to start your chapters off. And then from there, I'll help you with getting your book into print. I'll help you with, you know, just getting set up, maybe on Amazon, maybe on, you know, different platforms. That's something that I'll do if it's something that you want to do.
Right.
But it's really just getting you started with the basics of writing your book and then completing it.
Okay. And are these books that you have?
Now, these two books are both best-selling author books.
Woohoo!
So this one is my 31st book. My 30th book.
30th. Book number 30, y'all. Come on now. Step up your game. Step up your game. I love it. Walk in your authority. Okay.
Yes.
Unleashing the divine power from within.
Yes.
All right. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful cover.
And this is my 8th co-author book, Sharing Our Prayers, and there are 12 authors in that.
Very nice.
And each are sharing their stories.
And so wait, so you're in this.
I am in this.
She's a part of this. So she's one of the co-authors of this book as well. And Ladrine is also a part of one of the co-authors of this book. Ladrine, one of our partners. Awesome. Fantastic. And so what else do you have? I understand that you're about to host your first. Is this your first conference?
Yes.
Okay, talk to us about that, because that's massive.
I am getting ready to host my first Women Inspired to Lead conference, which will help women, or is designed to help women to become empowered, inspired, to move to their next level, and to make a difference as they're journeying on. Giving them powerful tools, tips, and techniques to take that next step in life. And so Women Empowered to Win is you being ready for that next level. Because you can come to the conference, but if you're not ready to move, then you're not going to get anything out of it. So when you come, I already want you to come inspired. I already want you to come motivated that, you know, I'm going to get something out of this conference, and that is I'm going to be able to take back my life, take back my joy, and take back my peace, and actually take back who I am.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes along the way we've lost ourselves. And so it's helping you to gain that momentum to be able to take back your life.
So go into the building, come into the building on October 6, 2018 with expectation.
Yes.
That's what I tell everywhere I go. There is an expectation.
Yes.
You know why? Because I'm a busy woman with a whole lot going on.
Yes.
So I can't just show up just because, I ain't got nothing else to do.
Exactly.
So I'm coming with expectation.
Yes.
My expectation for Power Networking Conference might be different than my expectation for somebody else's conference, but I still come in always with an expectation that there's something that I'm here for. I'm here to either be a blessing, to get a blessing, something. There's something here that God intended me to be here. And so show up and know what your expectation is. Maybe it's for you to connect with Sister Allison Daniels, or maybe it's for you to be a speaker there the next year, or maybe it's for you to bless somebody else with your testimony, or whatever it is. Just know that you are there on purpose and with purpose, right? Both. You are never just showing up because you ain't got nothing else to do and nowhere else to go. So how do they get tickets to the conference?
You can go to Eventbrite, Women Empowered to Win.
Okay.
Or you can do Cash App, which is ADG29 was the $sign in front, ADG29. Or you can just email me and let me know, and then I can walk you through it, because I'm getting a lot of people that are stating they can't really get on the site, or when they go through they don't know what to do. Well, then just email or call me, and I'll help you through it.
And what's the cost of the tickets?
The tickets right now are $10.
Okay, come on now. Come on now. $10. Come on. You get a ticket for you, a girlfriend, and another girlfriend, right? Get 3 tickets. Don't buy one. Get 3. Like, we have to start looking out for each other, and especially when you know that it's going to be this type of environment where it's empowering, it's motivating, it's inspiring, but also it's going to catapult you into action for whatever your next level is. You can get all that wrapped into one for $10. Like, that's unheard of. I don't even think you can get a McDonald's Happy Meal no more for $10. I don't think you can get a combo meal for $10 no more. Like, everything is just ridiculous. And then what's the hours and the location?
It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's in Clinton, Maryland, 6595 Coventry Way.
Is it a venue? Is it a
The venue is called Next Generation. It's the same place.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where Ladrine has a lot of her.
Ladrine Peterson had her youth vision board party there, and my daughter Gianna was one of the speakers at one a couple months ago. So okay, great, beautiful. So 11 to 1, October 6, 2018. You want to get your tickets for that. You know, look, you can never be too empowered. You can never be too inspired. You know, there's a quote, and Haki probably knows the quote, that, you know, inspiration and motivation is like taking a shower. You need it every day, right? You can't skip days. Talking about what I took one yesterday, the day before yesterday. You need it every single day. Even the most motivated people, I still put myself in environments and circles with people who motivate and inspire me. I signed up recently for this course, and I shared this before, with Gloria Mayfield Banks. Why? Because I love what she does. I love her energy. It's magnetic. Energy is magnetic. It's infectious, and it's contagious. So if you got good energy, and I'm next to you, I'm probably going to get some of that good energy, right? If I got good energy, you probably going to get, it's going to rub off on you. And so I always intentionally put myself in the environment of good, really, really good energy. So you're going to get great energy at this event. You want to come out and you want to support, and you want to learn how can you start out on your 31 books.
Exactly.
Like, I'm telling you, I'm leaving here stepping up my game. Like, I got a whole lot more books I need to be writing so I can get to my 31 number. Well, thank you so much for being here. I do want to give you one final opportunity to share with us anything else that you're working on, or any final thoughts that you have for our viewing audience.
Okay, on July the 27th, I will be at your speaker boot camp.
Yay! Come on now, which can I say is sold out, right? Very intimate, but it's sold out. So we're blessed to work with you and have you there. Awesome.
Thank you. August the 3rd, I will be with Tanya Barbie, and that's her radio show. It's called Still a Rose Radio. And then September the 1st and 2nd, I will be at Change Mastery, one of the speakers there, Change Mastery Training to Triumph Conference, and that's hosted by Charles Carey.
Woo! Oh, you know, we love us some Charles Carey. Yes. Fantastic. He's doing great work, too. Always positive, always, you know, empowering and inspiring. So shout out to you, Sir Charles, which I owe you an email.
Yes, he told me to remind you.
See how people be sending notes? Look, tell her in her ear that she owed me an email. I have not forgotten you. You send me a note on LinkedIn, and I'm going to get you a response today. When I leave this radio station, I'm going to get you a response, because I could not possibly not support my brother, because he has always been. I mean, that's the thing about Haki and Sir Charles. I mean, these are people who have been around my journey for the past 6 or 7 years, and always give me love. Like, never, no shade, never, you know, sometimes, and that's why I want women to get to that place. Where we're not shading on each other because somebody else is excelling. Like, you should be like, you better do it, girl. Right? I always have my pom-poms in the air for women who are just knocking it out of the park, because first of all, you're blazing trails for me as well to be able to enter into new doors. And I love seeing women play at the top of their game, because they inspire me to play bigger. I'm like, Tiana Von Johnson was at the Power Networking Conference. This chick had a hustle like I ain't never seen a hustle before. I said, oh, I got to get home and get some projects going. Like, that's how I take it.
It inspires you.
Yeah, it doesn't deflate me. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough. It makes me feel like, you know what? I got more in me. I got more. And maybe I needed to be around that and see that or experience that so I can step up my game. So certainly we want people to connect with you so that they can get their book out. You guys hear me say it all the time. Your story is about you, but it's not for you. That means you went through the mess, the struggle, the challenge, but it is for someone else to be blessed. And here's what you don't ever want to happen. You don't ever want, either one, your story to never be told, because you don't tell it, or number two, for it to be told from somebody else's perspective because you didn't tell it. One of the things that happened with my father, he passed away unexpectedly. He was 59 years old, Thanksgiving Day of 2009, never told his story. Man had a powerful story, which I didn't even start learning about until he was gone. And then his family started telling us about what he really had experienced and all of the demons that he struggled with and fought with through his life. And that will either never get told or it will get told from somebody else's perspective. So tell your own story, right? Hashtag tell your own story.
Never too late.
It is never too late. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. You've been a blessing. We're looking forward to book number 32.
Yes.
And we'll keep counting with you. And guys, make sure you go out and you support Allison. Yeah, there's Charles. Charles Carey, thanks, Allison. Cheryl Wood, you are the bomb. You are too, brother. All right, guys, we're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to be right back with our final guest, Miss Nettie Phillip.